We've had some more news on Battlefield 6, some potential dates of when we might get some gameplay or a trailer. So, I don't know when this news came out, I think it was roughly a day or two ago. There's some interesting things in here, and you know, some quite hopeful news, which I'll get to in a minute. But we're going to start off. So, the first bit of information was that the game is on track, which is a very good sign because generally when the games get closer to the release date, everything gets rushed and everything, and they kind of fall behind schedule. Games get delayed, and obviously, them saying that they're on track is a very good sign. Obviously, there's still time for it to go out the window, but so far that's a good sign. Then the CEO, so he was just talking about how it will tap into the horsepower of PS5 and Xbox One X. Obviously, that's not really new news. They're obviously going to do that, but the main question is that this sparks is that will PS4 and Xbox is it Xbox One? Yeah, I don't even Xbox. Not my strong point, but yeah, will it be on those consoles? Because it's a bigger thing than most people think. Because if it is on those consoles, then the game will be limited on the newer consoles because they can't just go all out because they have to still cater to the old gen hardware, which is 10 years old now. So fingers crossed that it's not. Obviously, people are struggling to get hold of the new console, so I can see why people will be upset about that. But I think if we want a better game this year, we're just gonna have to hope they kind of stick with the new gen consoles. He talks about unprecedented scale. Battlefield's always been like that. Hopefully it's even bigger. I'd like to see the return of Levolution. I know it was kind of gimmicky, but I think if they iron it out a bit, it could be insane on these new consoles, especially with the graphics and what they can do now. It elevates it to another level. Like, you'd expect that with every new game it to improve. Obviously this is not really new news. Battlefield 6 has been tipped for a holiday 2021 release date, so falls between early November and December. So still a ways off, especially if that ends up being in the December bracket. That's nearly a year away, well, just under now. It is a long time to wait. I'm hoping it will be on the earlier side if they're on track, maybe in November. But obviously we can't tell what's going to happen down the line if there's any delays or anything. But we can just hope that we get an early November release date. So now this is the interesting new news that they've kind of given, is that we'll reveal the game in spring. So this is kind of between March, April or May. We could get any type of news. We could get gameplay, we could get a trailer, we could just get the era. Any news would be good though. Fingers crossed we get some gameplay. It would be really good to see, but I'd still take just a cinematic trailer at this point, because Battlefield trailers are notoriously very good. Then there was some more info. I can find it. So here we go. For those in the more traditional camp, Wilson has said that the next Battlefield game will mark a return to all-out military warfare. Now, you can't really judge when this will be, but mark a return kind of does hint to me that they will be returning to a kind of modern or near future era, which is, I think, what most people are hoping for. I did enjoy the World War One, World War Two games, but I think 2 back to back was quite a long stretch out, especially since Battlefield 5 was a letdown for the majority of people. Battlefield 1 was good, but I think it's good that they're returning to the kind of Battlefield 3 and 4 kind of time frame. And I think, obviously we can't necessarily judge that, but I think where they say mark a return, it could obviously be in the future as well, but because we haven't seen that really since the old Super old games. But yeah, hopefully we turn to a modern era. Another thing I'd like to see is the return of, I know Easter eggs were in the game, but I want them to play a bigger role. I remember Battlefield 4, the mystery and all the excitement of Easter egg hunting. I think that brought the community together, which hasn't really happened for a while. So I'd love to see that kind of implemented back in a bigger way with like big Easter eggs. I know it's not what you want in the game, but for me, I thought that was really fun. Good gunplay, good maps, lots of content. I think these are all musts to save this franchise at this point, as they've been struggling. So yeah, we can only hope and see what they reveal in March, April, or May. But fingers crossed.